March 11th. Just actually out here to do a resource assessment to get, I'm going to try and set up 2 additional hive boxes for when I do the split. Probably do a split off of both of these hives, and then we'll use resources from the dead hive on the right to give them a good start, a good kickoff. But came out here and saw this left-hand hive is just screaming in and out. Incredible activity. The middle hive is cranking pretty good too, but this left hive is just rocking. Hope we don't get a wicked cold snap here at the end of March. It'd be nice to kick off early this year and just get rocking. Alright, I'm off after getting resources and hives set up. Well, I'm back and forth here getting pieces together to do splits. I'm not going to split just yet. We're not quite to that part of the season where I trust the season enough yet. But came back here and this middle hive is just screaming in and out now. They seem to ebb and flow in cycles, which is kind of cool to see. I'll take you right in here for a minute. I don't see them pulling mass amounts of pollen today. Look at all that pollen coming in. Yeehaw! Wish I had the budget to get some extra pollen for them, but I just don't have it this year. I'd love to hear that sound again. Okay, so I guess I'll just go over what I'm planning on doing here, and if there's any experienced beekeepers out there who see something completely wrong with my plan, please let me know in the comments below. This left-hand hive over here is a full deep and a medium or shallow super on top of that. I found that worked really well. That gave me a nice full deep brood box for them, and then a shallow for them to carry reserves and honey for. And then I treat everything above that as harvestable honey. And that worked out really well last year. This colony was really strong last year. Came through the winter really strong, and as you can see, they're still very strong. The middle hive has 2 deeps on it. I'm probably going to switch out that upper deep to a medium at some point. I really like that as a base hive, basically the full deep and then a medium, so they have a little reserve of honey. Those full deeps I think are supposed to be about 80 pounds of honey when they're full, and of course when there's brood in them they won't be quite 80 pounds of honey, so maybe call it 60. And then I think the mediums are supposed to be like 25, so that gives them a reserve of about 80 or 85 pounds of honey. I'm told that's enough to get them through a pretty harsh winter. This winter was not that harsh, but they came through okay. Last winter was very cold for extended periods of time, and they came through just fine. So I think that's going to be my plan going forward. A full deep and a medium like that, like the one on the left. I think so. I think for my new splits, that's how I'm going to set them up. And I have this hive over here on the right, which did not survive the winter, but both of those bottom deep supers are pretty much chock full of resources. They're pretty heavy. I have not dug down into the bottom one yet, although I will at some point soon, and just see how much is honey, and you know, if there's any dead brood or anything else in that, or any other hazards in there. But provided that is as full of honey as I think it is, I'm going to split this into 2 new hives, and I'll take a split off of each of the left-hand hives here, and that should give me 4 hives. So I want to set this up the same way, a deep on the bottom and a medium on top as the base hive, just like the one on the left. And then everything above that will be deep supers. I find that's easier to manage for harvesting honey. Same amount of invasive work, same amount of time invested, but more honey in a swing or a harvest, so to speak. So that's kind of what I'm thinking here, and I guess I'll I don't know, I'll add more info as I sort together the various parts I have for this. I'm also doing this on a really slim string budget, so that's part of the reason I'm doing things the way I am. I may have to buy some extra frames and stuff, but I think most of the stuff that I need I already have. Really excited about all this, really enjoying the honeybees. And I know my son Jeremy is super interested in this, and I think he'll be up for helping with bees and learning about bees, and you know, basically becoming the next generation of beekeepers. And that's awesome. I'm really excited about that. So it's a beautiful thing. All right, I'll update you when I have more info. I guess I'll just show these quickly for the first hive split, where I'm going to break that right-hand hive out into two and take a split from one of the others. I've got a medium, I've got my bottom board, I've got my cover, and I've got my inner cover. The existing hive over there already has the bottom board, the inner cover, the outer cover, and the deep. I probably will need to get some medium frames, whatever size this is. I think it's medium. I'll just take the box over with me to Hudson Valley Bee Supply. Anybody who's in Hudson Valley who doesn't know about Hudson Valley Bee Supply should. Those guys are excellent. They have stuff in stock. They're competitive with Amazon pricing pretty much, or Man Lake, and they're very helpful, informative people. They're all really nice people over there, and I'm very glad to have a local business that supports us beekeepers. So this is the other empty medium, and I'm going to get together, well, I got a cover here. So there's a cover for it, and I got a bottom board I'll snag, and that'll set that up. And then I need to grab one more bottom board, because that left hive does not have a bottom board, and it's time to get one on that to make ingress, egress easier for the ladies. So it's maybe half an hour later, and I've been assembling pieces for hives. Got some nice bottom boards and inner cover. There it is. Bottom boards and inner covers and stuff. And so cloud covers come over, so it's a little cooler now. Activity is much lower, but I really wanted to see if these guys are still pulling pollen. And what prompted me to bring the camera back on was I saw one go in absolutely loaded with beautiful yellow pollen. And I think you just saw that one. The next one, well, the one that I didn't catch on camera, the next one you just saw as I turned the camera on here. So they are pulling resources still, so that's encouraging. For those of you newer to beekeeping than I guess I'll just give an example here of why you don't build boxes out of plywood. This came in this lot of bee equipment that I picked up from a friend. I don't know why he made this out of plywood. He probably just did this in a hurry, and it was all he had available. But this is sat out over the winter, and it was buckling and creeping even before that. But you can see once they get exposed to some moisture, they really disintegrate and they don't hold their form. And it would be really hard to get frames in and out of that. This is basically not usable, so I probably will burn it in the wood stove, and man, will that smell nice. Anyway, just a tip: if you're going to build your own boxes and you're new to beekeeping, don't use plywood. Get good quality wood. The better quality, the better. Yeah, just a tip. Alright, so it was a couple hours later, and did a bunch of chores and stuff, but I came back out here to do some figuring. Don't mind my scribbly scribbles. I just kind of had to lay this out on paper to figure out what's what. It looks like all I really need to finish setting up 2 more hives for the split is a pack of 6 3/4 frames and foundations for this medium box to go on top of one. The other medium box that's on here already has comb that's drawn out, so that one's ready to go. Inside of this one, we're empty, so I'll need a pack of deep frames for that one. Even though most of the deep frames for this will come over from the other hive, I'll need to replace those in that box when I go to use that for expanding honey later. And I'm going to pick up a couple more packs of deep frames just so we have them for when the season gets rolling, we're ready to handle it. I think that's everything. My camera's just about out of battery, and I hope you found this interesting or informative. If you have any questions or comments, please do so down below. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network, and don't forget to check out our Teespring store. Thanks for watching.